Good morning, or good afternoon, Akwaaba, and welcome to this Sunday session. Today's Sunday, the 6th of November. Hope everyone is well, wherever you might be in the world. Giving a nod to my younger brother. Happy birthday for yesterday, Guy Fawkes night. I hope everyone's had a good week. We're going to be doing a 20-minute sesh where we're going to be focusing on sun salutations, so just moving the body, warming the body up. Before coming to stillness at the end. As always, if you're watching it live, greetings, and if you're watching it on playback, hope you enjoy, and do give us feedback, subscribe, like, and also follow us on Instagram. Follow myself on Instagram at Akwaaba Yoga. But let's get started. We're going to start. We're going to start in child's pose. We're going to come to Balasana, so knees apart, feet together. Just going to find ourselves arriving on the mat, coming into stillness and presence. Just motion the arms out in front of the body, along on the mat. Bring your forehead as close as you can to the floor, and just feel your belly pressing against your thighs as you take each inhale. In your rib cage, your belly expands on each exhale. Feel the air coming out from your body up through your nose or through your mouth. And in each exhale, just soften and release. Deep inhale in and exhale. So just 3 more times in your own time. On the next breath, let's come up onto all fours, into our tabletop. Hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Just start to rock the body forwards and back. As we just start to bring a gentle stretch to the wrists. You're not going too far forward that you come to any pain. You're just bringing some movement, some motion into your wrists here. Maybe draw the hips a bit closer towards the floor. Maybe press the bum all the way back to the heels, come to Balasana. Just gently rocking forwards and back. When it comes to stillness, I'm going to curl the toes under, press our hands to the mat, lift up the knees, come into our first downward facing dog as we stretch out through the calves, come up high on the toes. Walk out through the feet. Feel yourself grounded in the hands, the toes, and slowly start to come into stillness by energetically drawing our heels down towards the floor. They don't need to reach, they don't need to touch. Take our gaze towards the back of the room between our feet. Long in the arms, long in the back, lifting the tailbone high towards the ceiling. Always feel free to maintain that bend in the knees or come into a bend in the knees if you feel like you're overstretching. On the next breath, let's come high on the toes on the inhale. And take tiny tiptoes towards the front of the mat. Keep the hands where they are. And let's all meet at the front of the mat in our forward fold. Just rocking the body gently from side to side. Gently start to rock the body up. Keep the arms and the head heavy. As we come up to the top, let's roll the shoulders back, face the palms forward into Tadasana, a mountain pose. Take a long deep breath in. Feel your shoulders lift down on the exhale. Feel the shoulders softening. And again, deep inhale in. And exhale out. Your eyes are closed, I invite you just to blink them open. So maintain that breath. We'll come to Ujjayi, inhaling through the nose, exhale out through the nose. And I'm going to come into some sun salutations or half suns. On the inhale, let's float the arms up towards the ceiling. Let the hands meet in prayer at the top. On the exhale, bring the hands into prayer at the center of the chest. On the inhale, we go high with the hands. Long breath in. Exhale, Uttanasana. Bend from the hips to come all the way down. Inhale, hands on the shins. Halfway lift, rolling the shoulders back. Exhale, soften to release. Inhale, the arms go high. Take the gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands into prayer at the center of the chest. And again, deep inhale in, hands go high. Exhale to come down, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, head to prayer at the center of the chest. So you find that we're moving in sync with our breath. Inhale to go high. Exhale to bend. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to go long in the body. Exhale, hands into the center of the chest. We go again. Inhale, high. Exhale, bend. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, high. Exhale, hands meet at the center. Two more. Inhale, high. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend. Inhale to reach up towards the ceiling. Really breathe beyond the fingers here. Exhale, hands into prayer at the center of the chest. Last one. Inhale, high. Exhale to come into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften. Inhale, bend into knees, floating the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands into prayer at the center of our chest. We're now going to come into the full sun. So on the inhale, take the hands up to the ceiling. Exhale, bend from the hips, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, just bend into the knees as much as we need. Maybe the heels lift up. Place both hands down at the front of the mat. Step back with the left. Step back with the right foot. We're going to meet in our Kumbhakasana, our high plank. But first, we're going to walk forwards into the toes. Let's all drop onto our knees, uncurl the toes. Bend into the elbows to come down. Bringing our chest towards the floor. Keeping our elbows tucked in. Let's press up into a cobra. Take your gaze up. On exhale, bring the chest back down towards the floor. On the next inhale, let's take a cobra. If it's there for us, we can come into an upward facing dog as we lengthen out through the arms. Keeping the elbows drawn into the ribs. On the exhale, curl the toes under. Downward facing dog. Deep inhale in. And sigh out. Together, let's come high on the toes. Let's jump or step forwards. Let's take a time. Let's all meet at the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften to release. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands into prayer at the center of our chest. Let's go again. Inhale, take the prayer up towards the ceiling. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend into the knees, lift up the heels, place the hands down on the front of the mat. Let's step back with the left. Let's step back with the right foot to come into our Kumbhakasana, our high plank. Again, let's drop forwards into the toes. And sort of drop down onto the knees, uncurl the toes, bend into the elbows to bring the chest down. Again, take a cobra here or come straight into our upward facing dog. Lifting the chest up, keeping the elbows tucked in, lifting that through the arms. Deep breath in. On the exhale, downward facing dog. Deep long breath in. And exhale out. Let's come high on the toes. Jump or step. Let's all meet together once more at the front of the mat. Long breath in as we come into a halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, bend into the knees, float the arms out towards the ceiling. Take the hands high. Exhale, hands into prayer at the center of our chest. Last one. Inhale to lift the prayer high. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften to release. Just I'm going to come to chair pose, so bend into the knees, start to bring the bum down, take the arms up towards the front diagonal. As we come into our seats, take our gaze in between the hands. We're holding it here for 3. Just draw the navel in towards the spine. 2. We're going for anterior tilt of the pelvis. 1. And on the exhale, let's come into our Uttanasana, our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften to release. Inhale, we're going to come back into our chair pose. Taking the arms up towards the front diagonal. This I want to come into eagle, Garudasana, unless I'm mistaken. So we're lifting up that right leg. Whoops. Taking the right leg up and over the left thigh. Just play with your balance, play with the wobbles. And float the arms up towards the front diagonal. So we come low in our seat for 3, for 2, for 1. Place the foot down. Let's move to that Tadasana. Rolling the shoulders back. The palms are facing forwards. Take a long breath in. And sigh it out. I'm going to come back into our Uttanasana. Our chair pose, the arms float up towards the front diagonal. I'm going to take the opposite side. So we're bringing the weights into the right sole of the foot this time. Lifting our left leg up and over our right thigh. Should come to eagle pose on the opposite side. We're bending into that right knee as much as we can. Just come to a position where you're able to sit comfortably in this pose for another 2 breaths. Another 1. On the exhale, placing the left foot down, palms facing forward, Tadasana. On our next breath, let's float the arms up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend into the knees, lift up the heels, place the hands down, step back with the left foot, step back with the right, Kumbhakasana, high plank. And as we did before, we can drop down to the knees or feel free to rock forwards onto the toes. Come into our chaturanga. We're bending into the elbows, come into a low plank, pressing through the toes to come straight up into our upward facing dog. Bring the chest through the arms. On the exhale, curling the toes under. Downward facing dog. Long breath in. and sigh it out. Let's come high on the toes and jump or step forwards. Let's meet once again at the front of our mats. Let's come to a halfway lift. Exhale, soften to release. Once more, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Bring the hands down towards the front of the mat, so we're bending to the knees as much as we need, so we can bring our hands down. We're lifting up through that left foot. Bring the left heel towards the left butt cheek and stepping that left foot towards the back on the mat, landing on the toes or shuffling it back. We're going to drop down onto that left knee, curl the left toes. We're coming into a low lunge on the right side. So let's fall nice and grounded through that right foot. Start to peel the chest away from the right thigh. We're feeling a stretch this time through the left hip flexor. So we can soften into that right knee. As we start to drop our hips a bit close towards the mat, let's float the arms up towards the ceiling. Nice and long in the torso, engaging through the core. Or feel free to place our hands on the right thigh for number 2. Number 1. Let's start to press our right foot into the mat as we lengthen out through the right leg. Maybe shuffle that right foot forward. We're going to come up onto that right heel, so we're curling our right toes towards our face, long in that right leg and coming into a hamstring stretch for the right side. So we're energetically drawing our chest towards the right shin here. Just maybe walk the hands forward on the mat or along the front of the leg. If you've got a block or a water bottle handy, feel free to place your hands on the block of the book just to give yourself some elevation and stability for number 2. Another 1. I'm going to soften into that right knee. Placing both hands on the inside of the right foot. Let's gracefully on, gracefully. There's no judgment here. Let's swing our right foot back. Once we're all ready, we're going to meet in our, what is this pose called? Tabletop. Let's curl the toes under. Lift the knees up off the mats. Downward facing dog. Long breath in here. Exhale out. On the inhale, let's come high on the toes and jump or step forwards, and let's meet once again at the front of our mats. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften to release. Once again, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften to release. This time we're lifting up the heels off the mat, bringing our hands down as you bend into the knees. We're going to lift that right leg up this time, taking the right heel towards the right butt cheek, and jumping that right foot back, landing in your own time, on the right toes, before we start to drop down onto that right knee. Coming into runner's lunge on the left side. Let's uncurl the right toes. We're going to feel nice and grounded through the left sole of the foot. Once we're ready, let's start to peel our chest away from the left thigh. Maybe placing both hands on the left thigh to give us some stability. At this time, we're coming into a stretch into the right hip flexor. So on each inhale, we're nice long in the torso, long for the back, long for the neck, and on the exhale, we're bending into that left knee. Just dropping our hips a bit closer towards the mat again, just going to our edge. No competition or judgment here. Not competing with ourselves. Just breathe and move in line with the breath. So inhale to lengthen, exhale to soften to that left knee. On the next breath, let's start to press our left foot into the mat. Maybe shuffle that left foot forward. We're going to come high into that left heel. We're long in that left leg this time. We're curling the left toes towards the face, finding a stretch into our left hamstring. Again, just walk the hands forward and energetically start to draw the chest down towards the left shin. For another 2 breaths. You might find it helpful to engage through the left quad. The quad and the hamstring acting opposite to each other. So if you engage the left quad, it just starts to relax the left hamstring that much more. And let's start to release out. Soften to that left knee. And so we take the bend. That left knee, bring the left sole of the foot down towards the mat. Both hands are on the inside of the left foot. I'm going to swing that left foot back. Again, no judgment. We're going to meet in tabletop. Let's curl the toes under. Lift up. Out tailbone towards the ceiling, downward facing dog. Long breath in here. And exhale out. We're going to drop back into our balasana, our child's pose. Bring the knees down, feet together. So I'm going to finish up by coming into our balasana. Or if you find this a bit uncomfortable or you want to take an alternative pose, feel free to come into Shavasana just for a few breaths. So whether you're balasana or Shavasana, let's just come into stillness. Release the Ujjayi breath. Let's take one long inhale in together once more. Deep breath in. And sigh it out. And relax. Here just for a few moments. So allow yourself to just find, even if it's a couple of seconds of peace, no judgment. Something's on your mind right now. Just embrace the opportunity to let it go. Anything that might be troubling you, any worries or concerns. Leave your troubles here on the mat. So when we come out of this, we come out and we're moving with more freedom as we go about our daily lives. The worst thing you can do is carry excess baggage around with us that prevents us from just being free in ourselves. I invite you to stay where you are, or want to come back up and meet in a seated position, either cross-legged or maybe on the shins, on our knees. Just going to finish up together by taking our hands into our laps. Take one long breath in and relax. If your eyes are closed, I invite you to just blink them open. And it's all done, a little bit over 20 minutes. But yeah, a few variations of sun salutations there to wake the body up and bring some movement, bring some undulation to the back. But yeah, it's good to call this last minute session. I hope you're able to join in. Good to see you, Lydia. It's been a minute. I hope you're keeping well. D-Man, always a pleasure. Thank you once again for tuning in. Anyone else who might be on us with the live, I hope you're all safe and well and wish you a great week ahead. And yeah, see you back on the mat next week Sunday. Yeah, I nicked to Eagle because I know you've been doing Eagle, D-Man. I see you practicing during the week, so thanks for the reminder. Anyway, take care, guys, and yeah, have a great Sunday. All the best.